Hey guys, Berger here with MVP Paintball. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Player Spotlight. Today I'm joined by Rob Cole from GRC Paintball.
Hey guys.
All right, Rob, we appreciate you driving all this way to come visit us today.
No problem.
I know GRC's a little bit ways away. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure, absolutely. My name is Rob Cole. I'm from Wellsville, New York. 48 years old. Time flies. I've got 3 kids. I got a son, Riley. He's 22. I got 2 daughters, Molly and Ava, 18 and 12.
Oh, got your hands full.
My hands are full.
So you own GRC Paintball?
I do.
How long have you owned GRC Paintball?
GRC started as just a retail shop in 1994.
Okay. So I was just graduating high school.
Yeah. It shows my age. Absolutely. Yeah, 1994 we started. We had a hardware store, Main Street in Belfast. And I kind of branched out a little bit, and we put a little shop in there and kind of took off from there.
What made you decide on starting a paintball store, or a paintball field for that matter?
Well, the store, we just kind of fell into it. My dad, my brother-in-law, we like to play, so I want to get stuff cheap. So the best way to do that is find a way to get wholesale and just sell that off, and where you go. As far as the field goes, I got so many people playing. My parents' house, we'd have 30, 35 people running around my dad's lawn.
Just like friends that you guys met? Everybody kind of get into it?
Other paintball guys, there's like the Hornells, which is another neighboring town. The guys from Hornell would come over, and we'd have easy 30, 35 people on my dad's lawn. And the borders of this field, one of the borders was the road. So the neighbors didn't care much for that. So it was time.
And that was before, insurance mandated having,
absolutely
netting up and stuff like that. Back in the Wild West days.
That was crazy. That was just goggle days.
Just like shop goggles. That's all you had. No ear protection. Yeah, I remember. That's when I started playing. I remember those days. Actually, one of the first times I ever played. Actually, the first time I ever played in a tournament was at GRC.
Cool.
Mitch Carney invited me down there. This is back in the supermodel days.
Absolutely. Good memories.
Yeah. I was one of those guys that I showed up with a Spider TL Plus with a cutoff trigger guard, and the refs were like, "Yeah, you can't use that here." And Mitch was like, "Well, yeah, I didn't know. I didn't even know that the tournament paintballs were a thing." And Mitch was like, "Here, use this," and it was his Mountain Dew Green Auto.
I remember that gun.
And he told me, "Don't scratch it and don't short stroke it."
You did both.
And I didn't know what short stroking was. I only shot a Spider, so it's like, don't short stroke. Okay, I'll try not to scratch it. I don't really know what short stroking is. So, I was the type of player that had my back to the bunker, and I would spin out and shoot a little bit, and then pop back in completely backwards, complete noob. I had no idea what I was doing. But it was a fun experience. So.
Absolutely. And tournaments are great, and that was a killer gun. I remember that gun well. And if I remember correctly, I believe Mitch did a modification of that. So he put some sort of switch in the trigger frame. So every time you pulled the trigger, it would activate the revolution hopper.
Oh yeah, like IntelliFeed. It was like an IntelliFeed.
It was a Radio Shack IntelliFeed.
Speaking of Mitch modifying stuff, I know that this interview is about you, but it's I love
a lot of what happened in my paintball career. Mitch and I did it together. So.
Yeah, you guys go way back as well. One of the first electronic hoppers that I bought was a 9-volt Revolution that he had an Angel shredder put into, and he zip tied a 9-volt battery to the back of it. Yeah, that was one of my first electronic loader. I thought I was hot shit because I got this
cool stuff.
It looked
big stopwatch on the back.
I actually melted the lid and put a stopwatch right up on the top back in the 10-man days where 10-minute long games and time mattered on there. So So what type of fields did you start with at GRC?
Woods ball was how we started. When I bought the property, there was like 10 or 15 acres of open field. I had no idea what I was going to do with that. And what are you going to do with it? So we just had woods ball. And then things as I expanded and kind of, reading magazines and seeing speedball fields, we started building that kind of stuff. So we started with the old triangle field, which if you're old school, you probably remember it. It was just plywood cutouts, triangles on top of hay bales. And it was a super fun. Actually, I posted a video on the GRC's Facebook page a while back with Mitch in it.
Oh, really?
Actually playing on that field. The first speedball tournament that we had was probably 90. Riley wasn't born yet, so it must have been 96.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to go and actually check that out. So,
it's pretty
absolutely.
Cool.
I like, old school stuff like that. So what do you have now? What do you guys actually offer at GRC Paintball?
We got pretty much everything paintball. I guess our main focus is scenario ball.
Okay.
We have a huge, like a whole big town built up there. About 120 buildings with floors and roofs.
Wow.
A church, schoolhouse.
Multiple levels, like you can actually go up like into a bell tower?
Yes, you can. Absolutely. And if anybody knows my dad, Glenn, he builds all this stuff. He's a mastermind when it comes to building stuff on the cheap. So we got a pretty cool place. A lot of woods. We got your airball fields. We got the indoor field, hyperball, because the 10-man thing.
Oh yeah.
So I've had hyperball field there since the late 90s.
Oh, that's awesome. So, I miss hyperball, to be honest with you.
It's so much fun. Just the
sound. Yeah, exactly. That's what a lot of people don't realize is, you hear air bunkers and the ball hitting them and it makes that thud, but when you're behind a hyperball tube, the ball can go into those little channels and make that little sound.
Yeah.
Like it,
absolutely.
It almost sounds like a laser. I don't know. To me, I really miss those days.
They're cool. And they're back.
Yeah.
There's a resurgence in mechanical ball. And,
yeah. Oh yeah.
With woods ball, hyperball, and then your hybrid fields, mounds fields, that's all coming back.
Yeah, and mechanical's coming back.
It's a beautiful thing.
Pretty strong. Autocockers.
Yeah, amazing. They're coming back.
People
hard.
are like, I've got autocockers. Like, I was thinking about selling it for $25, and it's like, part of me is like, I want to buy that. Like, listen, man, check the pricing on it because a lot of them are going for decent money now that people are actually.
It's gone crazy.
Yeah.
Like maybe 10 years ago, I would buy an Evolution autococker for a kid for $100.
Yeah.
And I would strip off the pneumatics, put a pump kit on it, and sell for $250. But now that gun is worth $2,000.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing how all the old school stuff is coming back. And free flow is making a resurgence, and that's a whole other thing. We're still trying to get Buddy Bauer in here and
he's killing
talk to him about
those
that.
guns are beautiful. He's done such a good job with that. It could have gone either way. Could have gone or could have.
Nobody wants it or
through the moon. And it's great.
Yeah.
And he, Buddy's a perfectionist if you know him. Everything he does, he's, don't let his looks fool you. He is a perfectionist. Yeah.
So you've been around for a long time. What are some of the teams that you've played on?
Going way back, starting out, we had a team called Mutiny. Myself, my father, and a couple kids, Paul Lau, which some people may remember Paul Lau. Most people probably won't. We did 3-man stuff. I played with Supermodels, which was like my first kind of cool team, which was fun.
I remember you guys had that Supermodel logo. The
trucker
lady,
girl.
The trucker girl laying back.
It's the best logo ever in paintball. Still the best. And the Supermodels was a great thing for me. I used to buy all my supplies at Paintball Game Supplies in East Rochester.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So there was Mike Malton, John Sam, both with Supermodels, and hey, you guys got to come down and play. One time they all came down, Mitch and the whole gang, and we played some woods ball, and we just next thing you know, hey, you're playing with us. So
that's
kind of took off from there.
Yeah.
Then after Supermodels, we had Shockwave Canada. I think we started that in '99. I know myself, Mitch, Matt Jewell, buddies, older brother, some of the guys, we played a tournament in Canada. And we met up with some guys, Louis Delicio, Robert Lee, those guys from Montreal. They pulled us into Shockwave. So we did some practices at GRC on the hyperball field. And I think our first event was maybe Dallas in '99. We got smacked around a little bit. We had some good games, but didn't fare as well as we hoped we would. But we had a great time.
That's awesome.
And then it's kind of rolled from there. I think we did that for maybe a year or two. I stopped playing with Shockwave. Mitch went on to Lockout. The year after that, I went to Lockout.
Okay, so you guys played together on Lockout as well?
Yeah, we had 1 year, at least 1 year that we did that together. So.
That's awesome.
And it was some good times.
So, you mentioned you went to Canada, you mentioned you went to Dallas. Has paintball allowed you to travel other places as well?
All over the country, a lot of California trips. We used to go to California for practice, which was a pretty
just
cool
fly
thing.
out there just for weekend practice?
Absolutely. Yep. So, all over the country. I haven't ventured out of the world like a lot of guys have. Out of the country, but tons of travel. Too much, actually.
So between scenario, speedball, and let's say 10-man, what do you think your preferred style is?
Me personally, what I enjoy the most and what I enjoy watching the most is definitely scenario ball. Because it's so laid back, it's chill, really target-rich environment. And it is just fun. It's a great time. You can get as aggressive as you want. You can sit back and not move all day long, and you're still going to get kills. It's just a lot of fun. The people are great. The people dress up in costumes, and if it's like a Star Wars themed game, you got guys dressed up like Darth Vader and are wielding lightsabers. And just a good time.
Right. Yeah. Gavin. We had Gavin on recently. And he was talking about the scenario and stuff as well.
Yeah, I had him. He captained one. I think it was last year, and he was Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, he mentioned that one.
So that was cool.
All right. So you've played for a while. Played for a bunch of different teams.
Yep.
What do you think your all-time favorite marker is? One that Like you just loved playing with it, or you got the most kills with it, or
definitely my Riley autococker.
Okay.
My son.
Did you say Riley?
Riley, my son Riley. Back in the day, when I was traveling, I had a little baby at home, missed the kid all the time.
I feel you.
So I had a cut out of his face on the side of that gun, and it kind of inspired me. I looked down at that before the game, and
just give it to people.
That gun got some kills, a lot of kills.
I like that. You know, it's got some meaning behind it, some background. What do you think the gun that you had, kind of that got away from you, that you wish you would be able to get again?
Well, that one actually did get away from me, believe it or not. And who would sell a gun with their kid's face on it? I didn't sell it. It got stolen.
I hate that.
Yeah. It got
whoever
stolen.
did that, you're a bad person. I hope you're watching this.
I want it back.
And may you step on Legos at 3 a.m. for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Barefooted.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, been in the game for a long time. What kind of changes have you seen throughout the paintball industry? It could be, you know, the industry itself with the suppliers or the players or style of player. Like, what do you think the most significant change that you've seen?
Well, maybe the most painful change was the economy. I know, like in the late '90s, I mean, paintball was booming. You know, we were packed on there all the time. We were getting, you know, semi-truckloads of paint in all the time. We were expanding out. You know, Mitch and I, we partnered with something. I had a partnership with another field in Corning around 2004, 2005. You know, the
Just participation dropped?
It did, and it was a tough pill to swallow. That was hard for everybody in the industry. You know, we lost a lot of businesses. You know, a lot of things folded. But, you know, I guess 2008, 2009, I think other field owners might agree, it's starting to make its comeback, and it's been kind of raising ever since.
Do you think that that's just kind of the natural ebb and flow of, you know, people being interested in paintball?
Maybe a little bit. I know because paintball got pretty intense for a while there with the X-ball. You know, it got to the point where it was almost scary for some people to play.
Yeah.
You know, and people would come and watch, and you hear 15 balls a second, and just things are going crazy. People running around and screaming and swearing and hooting and hollering.
The Wild West of paintball.
Wild West.
Back in 15.4 full auto.
Exactly. It got crazy.
In the NXL Pro field.
And the teams were so much bigger. So all these small teams you'd always get, you know, the 3 and 5 man teams, they all merged together to make these X-ball teams of, you know, 10 or 15 guys. So now all of a sudden, when you would get 20 teams at an event, you have like 4 teams now.
Right.
Because they're all tied up in other stuff.
Yeah.
So that definitely hurt. It was good for some leagues. We had some really cool leagues around, you know, that were X-ball leagues that flourished and then kind of faded away as, you know, things do.
Yeah.
But like I say, at least at GRC, the tournaments have been good again. Not like they used to be. We used to get 40, 45 teams sometimes for those indoor tournaments.
Okay.
But now we're getting 15, 20, that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the trend, I think, throughout the country. I travel for paintball. I still ref the pro field. So I
think I refed you one time.
Yes, World Cup.
One event, I've one and done.
Yeah, one and done.
Yeah, Tom Cole goes, you come back the next? I'm like, heck no, I'm done.
You were just there for the free goggles.
Yeah, yeah.
No, so, you know, I get a chance to talk to a lot of field owners throughout the country, and you know, a lot of the pro refs and a lot of the pro players, you know, they work at fields. You know, so you get some insight about, you know, is it just specific to, you know, New York, or, you know, is Florida having the same problem as, you know, Boston or Chicago or Vegas? So it seems to be the trend that we've seen as well. What do you think helped get you through that the most? Like as the field?
Definitely family.
Family?
And without the support of my wife and the kids, my father, who's amazing, you know, working for free, you know, to help me get through this. And then I actually had to get a full-time job. So, I mean, I know back in the day you could make a living easily off just a paintball field, but there's a lot of stress involved in that. So I'm glad now I don't have to worry about that anymore. So paintball is fun again.
Gotcha.
But for a while there, it was, I mean, can I pay my mortgage? Or
right.
Sometimes I couldn't.
The struggle, yeah.
It was a struggle.
Pick and choose what you're paying.
Exactly, you know, and then between that and then you hold a tournament and people complain and you're struggling to, you know, feed your family, and it was very stressful. But that's no more stress. Full-time job. If I make money at paintball, that's great. If I break even, that's okay. If I lose money, it kind of stinks, but you know, it's not the end of the world.
So what do you do for your full-time job?
It's an interesting story. I work at an old nuclear processing facility.
Okay.
It's a decommissioning project.
Okay.
So we're basically cleaning this thing up, tearing it down, making it safe again.
So should we have had a little Geiger counter in here to
You
make
should
sure
have.
you're not
radioactive? I'm radioactive, absolutely.
Well,
yeah. I'm not glowing.
I'm going to go get tested.
Yes, you should.
I thought you were glowing. I thought you were just happy to be here.
I have a natural glow. I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you making the trip out here.
Not a problem.
It's a pleasure seeing you,
Yes,
and
sir,
you know,
you
the
too.
industry's, very deserving of what you do down there. So
I appreciate
thank
that.
you very much. Do you have anything you want to promote?
I always have events coming up. I do we do a lot of big games. So we have, I believe April 25th, we have it's called Take the Town. So we have a woods team that attacks the village. That's always super fun. I've got a few 10-man things coming up. I got a 10-man tournament on the hyperball field and woods also. So it's a 2-field event.
I should try and get some time off and
make
my way down there. I miss it, man.
That's May 17th.
Okay.
I do a 24-hour scenario game in the second weekend of June every year. I'm not sure of a theme yet. What else we got? July 25th, we have a Mandalorian themed scenario game, which would be pretty cool.
Gotcha.
And also,
Gavin will be there at that one.
And I can't give away too much, but I'm working on a little something special with a couple of the local fields. So we have something in the works right now that I think will make people happy.
That's cool.
So
where can people find all this information? I mean, do you have like an Instagram, Facebook?
I've got a Facebook, GRC Paintball on Facebook. GRCPaintball.com is our website. There's information on there as well. But yeah, it's been a good run.
That's awesome. Well, we'll make sure that we put those links down in the description. Check them out if you're down in. Give me a second. What's the name of that town? Angelica.
Yes, that's Angelica. That's the town. Or Belfast, because the field is actually half Angelica, half Belfast.
Okay. So. All right. Well, you know where to find them. You know what to do. Go check them out. Go have fun. Go play some paintball.
Absolutely,
Thanks a lot, guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Don't let this fool you. This looks like we actually know what we're doing. Yeah, I know. As I was saying, I'm like, mother. Like, well, you. Here's my keys. You.
Glenn Rob Cole, give Rob cash. Gay rodeo camp.
He wonders why we keep vodka here. So Rob.
Oh, excuse me.